Yesterday we learned that we can use the words around a word and our schema, and sometimes when we've confirmed it with the picture, to work out what a word could mean. So, it's a really important skill to practice. Take a look at this. This sentence talks about the words suds. Suds. I drift off as if I am a bubble from the suds in Grandma's sink. Using the words around it, what do we think suds could mean? Well, bubble, sink, those are words that can help us. Suds means the bubbles, the bubbly mixture that is made from when we do the dishes, and the suds are the bubbles that come to the surface. They're the ones that kind of get stuck on the plates unless you rinse them off. What about back here, where it talks about the word quilt? So quilts is our next word. Let's take a look. Quilts are scraps of the past that put into blankets that are vivid and new. Wow. This is the easiest one to infer because it tells us the explanation of what quilts are by just saying it. Quilts are scraps of the past put into blankets that are vivid and new. It easily tells us exactly what it is. If all words were that easy to infer, it would be really great to read. But sometimes we do need to ask for help as well and say, I inferred, I just don't know the answer to this word. Please help tell me what the word means. Let's play a little game of one of these words is not like the other. Do you remember that one? Okay, let's have a little go. Look at each word and see which one doesn't follow the pattern. Which one of these words doesn't fit? Did you get it? Let's see if we can figure it out. So, we have the word supper, patterns, grits, simmer, after, her, different, slippers, understands, rocker, lavender. What's the same about all these words? I'm going to write it down. See if you got it. If it's that you said they all have the sound er, you'd be correct. And there's one word in here that does not have the sound er. But I'll tell you that at the end. So, when we find the word in all of these words, you'll notice that the people who wrote this book are giving you really good practice this time to practice that sound er. It's a R-controlled vowel. So we have patterns, after, simmer, different is hidden in the middle, understands is hidden in the middle. Oopsie, sorry, understands. Her, not very hidden. Slippers, rocker, and lavender. All of them tend to come at the end of a word. Usually these are not words that start with er. And of course, grits is the one that does not fit. Get out of here, grits. Seriously. So these are two words that have patterns, vowel patterns in them. And we want to try and find out what kind of pattern this is. We know it's not a CBC pattern because it has more letters than that. So let's look at what it is. First thing we want to do is find the vowels. Well, I see U and I. Then we make a line between the vowels. We label this vowel and this vowel. Then we label the consonants in between. Now we know that this type of word is a VCCV pattern. VCCV. This one is similar. Look. We find the vowels. We make a line between them. We say this one is a vowel, right? I is a vowel, and then E is a vowel. We find the consonants in between, and we find that this is a VCCV CCV pattern 2. So what that actually means is that we can say this word like this. If I split up the word like so, then we have skill, lit, skillet. Over here, if I split up the word just like so, we have muff, fin, muffin. And that's how we can use this strategy to work out how to say these words quickly, and also what kind of vowel pattern this word would be. Yesterday we found out about the characters. Today we're going to look at the characters in a different way. We're going to talk about them in a more factual way, talking about evidence that of their description. So if we were to say, tell me about Grandma Dot, what would be the main things we'd want to say? Let's talk about Dot. She's 87 years old. She wears vivid clothes. That's true, because the grandson said that. She smells good, according to the grandson. She's kind. She wears pink slippers. They're hot pink. And she's African American. That would be something we would have to say, because that's true about her. Boy. He's 7 years old. He wears a blue shirt. He's African American, and he's helpful. Now, what was my evidence that he was helpful? Well, I would say that was because he was doing the dishes. He was sitting and helping her do her quilt. He was present with her when she was doing the dishes, and also making dinner. That leads me into do some inferring in the story. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about these statements. It says, I infer that Dot and the boy have a good relationship. Well, what's my evidence for that? Why do I think that's true? I think they have a good relationship because when he sees her, well, first of all, there's evidence on almost every page. Here he's drawn a picture of her. He wouldn't draw a picture of her if she wasn't special. Here, he runs up to her when he first gets to the door. That shows that they have a good relationship. There's a lot of snuggling throughout the book. She also tells him, I just love you to bits. There's more evidence. He spends time with her when she's cooking dinner. Doesn't even go and play with toys. He loves the food that's made. He even is willing to do dishes for her because he loves her so much. You can also see in the pictures there's more evidence. The smiles and joy that's around. He sits with her while she's doing just a regular task, making her quilt. And there's a lot of joy in these different pictures. I want to show you my next thing. My next statement is, I think that Grandpop has died. That's kind of sad. Why would you say that? Why would you make the story sad, Mr. Crow? Well, here it says, this denim fabric is a bit of Great Grandpop's jacket, she tells me. Quilts are scraps of the past put into blankets that are vivid and new. Okay, so she's spending time doing something special for herself and for him, which is something that reminds her of Grandpop. Well, where is Grandpop? If not here anymore. And so I'm inferring that because she's older, that Grandpop has probably already passed away. Dot is joyful is my next statement. What's my evidence? Okay, my evidence for this is that she wears vivid colors. She's smiling on almost every page. She cuddles him. She loves him. She just spends time doing all the things that he does. And there's a lot of love in this book. That leads me to what I think the theme of this story is. I think the story is trying to tell us about the joy and love and relationship we can have between two people, even doing mundane tasks like the dishes, cooking food, quilting, snuggling, and sitting in a chair together. They don't have a lot of adventure time together. They just do regular things together. and that tells me that there's a lot of love going on. Well, it's your turn to go and read Great Grandma Dot for the third time. I hope you enjoy. Happy reading, first graders!